Alright, here we go. Alright, just for today, I can solve multi-step one-variable equations involving proportions. Read together, 1, 2, 3. I can solve multi-step one-variable equations. Let's read together, 1, 2, 3. Proportions, yes. So, notice that we're still on the same concept, so we don't need a Fermi model for that. Same concept. We already know the steps, is that correct? Yes, okay. So, today we get to the proportion section. So, look up please, pay attention. If you want to take notes on this, you may. If you don't, that's fine. This is just to refresh your memory. You already covered this. I'm just revisiting. Yes. Are we what? Of course. Here we go. A ratio. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities. And there's three ways of writing this. Look up, please. A to B, this is one way. A to B, this is another way. A to B. Those three are the same ratio. A to B, and A to B. Okay? Once again, it's a comparison of two quantities. Next, a proportion is a statement where two ratios are equal. So here's a ratio, here's another ratio, and they're equal to one another. That's what we call a what? A proportion. Okay? And once again, I think you've seen this before. I'm just revisiting, and I'm going to elaborate more on this in a little bit. The other one is a rate. A rate is a special type of ratio, except for here we have different units. There's a different unit on the numerator and a different unit on the denominator. Look at this. This is 34 miles, and the denominator is 2 gallons. Are miles the same as gallons? No, they're two different measures. Let's see. Let's think outside the box here. Who's heard or seen a rate that we use pretty much every day? People that drive.
The drive miles?
Yeah, tell your neighbor, please. Yeah, miles per hour or kilometers per hour. Yeah, so that's another example of a rate when they have two different measures. Okay? So, and the last one, a unit rate is when we reduce those to lowest terms, where one of the values is a 1. For example, look at this one. The rate that was given was 34 miles and 2 gallons. If we reduce that to one of them being a 1 gallon, then the miles is 17. This is a unit rate. Is it coming back a little bit? Kind of, sort of? Okay. So once again, this terminology we're going to be using throughout. So ratio, comparison of two quantities, proportion, two ratios equal to each other, a rate is two quantities with different units, and a unit rate is reduced to lowest terms. Okay? All right, well, one of them has to be a 1. So, copy this one, please. Example 1A. It says, the ratio of numbers of bones in a human's ears to the number of bones in the skull is 3 to 11. There are 22 bones in a skull. On that one, instead of writing the skull, I want you to write a skull. This is kind of like the stuff that forensic people do when they're determining some of the, last things that could have gone into play in regards to finding how somebody got into an accident, finding out more of a personal trait on each person. So, copy that, please, and we'll go. It says, the ratio of numbers of bones in a human's ears to the numbers of bones in the skull is 3 to 11. So, when you get to these kind of problems, to get organized, start with a color, and find out what is the first piece of information that they mention. They mention bones in an ear, or the ears, I'm going to do that in red. And then the second piece of information is bones in the skull. I'm going to do that with green. So why is it that I underline that? Because I'm trying to highlight things so that you guys can see how this is set up. This ratio right here has to do with the information that they give us. What is the first piece of information that they give us? Bones in the ears. So the first number here belongs to bones in the ear. The second piece of information is the bones in the skull. That belongs to the 11, because it's the second piece of information. Does everybody see how that's written out? So, to find out the question that they're asking, there are 22 bones in a skull. How many bones are in the ears? So check this out. So we're going to write a proportion. So we first write a ratio with this. 3/11 equals, and this is where we know where we place our numbers. So let's see. It says here, there are 22 bones in the skull. What color does that belong? Green. So I underline with green. So which one of these two numbers belongs for the skull? 11. That means we're going to write the 22 down here. And here we just write X, because we need to figure out how many in the ears when there's 22 bones in the skull. Now check this out. There's two ways of doing this. The first one is like this. You can find a factor by which this one was multiplied. So what was that factor? 2. So therefore X is what? 6, because 3 times 2 is 6. Guys, focus please. The second way of doing this is using cross multiplication. Who remembers cross multiplication? Here it goes. This is how it's done. Whenever you have a proportion like this, you can cross multiply, and I usually start with a variable. X times 11, that is 11x. 3 times 22, that is 66, and now we have an equation. Therefore, let's solve for x. Divide by 11, divide by 11. X equals 6 bones in the ears when there are 22 bones in the skull. Thank you. Yes? Okay, let's write the whole sentence on the part. Here we go. So, any questions? Any questions with the setup? Pretty simple, right? All you do is set up your proportion and solve for x. So with that said, do this next one by yourself. Example 1B. It says, the ratio of red marbles to green marbles is 6 to 5. There are 18 red marbles. How many red marbles are there? Copy that, set up your proportion, and solve, please. And yes, let's write a sentence, and everybody say, thank you, Sergio. Okay. Here we go. So your proportion was 6/5. 6/5 equals to x/18. Is that correct? It's 18/x. Alright, so cross multiply, this is 6x equals 90. Divide by 6, divide by 6, x equals 15. Red, and I'm doing them blue? Red marbles. Oh, green marbles, my bad. Green marbles. Alright, you get the idea, right? Alright, so, and so on and so forth. So let's go with cross multiplication. Don't copy this one. Look up, please. To cross multiply this, we just do 3 times n, that is what? 3n equal to what? 45. We divide by 3, so m equals 15. So we got this, right? Same thing with this one. Well, let's go to this one. Copy this one, please. Example 3A, solve the proportion. We got 6 over y minus 3 equals 2 over 7. 6 over y minus 3 equals 2 over 7. Let's do this one together. Here we go. So the variable's over here, so I'm going to cross multiply the 2. But now the variable has another term, so we have to distribute the 2 to both terms. So this is 2y minus 6. Then we go with the other cross multiplication, so that is equal to 42, and we know what to do from there. Is that correct? Yeah. So, plus 6, 2y equals 48. Divide by 2, divide by 2, y equals 24. Alright, be nice. Any questions with this? Pretty simple? Do this next one by yourself. We got g plus 3 over 5 equals 7/4. Solve, please. Copy and solve, go. Alright, let's see. Cross multiply, this is 4g plus 12 equals 35. Hands up, you got that. Okay, and then the rest should be easy. So, minus 12 minus 12, 4g equals 23. Divide by 4, g equals 5 3/4, or 5.75. And if you got that? Okay, so we got these, right? So, let me go to this one. Don't copy this. I'm just going to go over unit rate. You look up, please. It says, Ralph Lau, Germany, flipped a pancake 416 times in 120 seconds to set the world record. Find the unit rate, round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So watch. So to set up a proportion, I first write my ratio, there it is, 416 over 120. To make it a unit rate, one of these two has to be equal to 1. Which one is easiest to equal to 1? 120, so this is going to be equal to 1. Therefore, to find out what this is, we need to label it what? X. So, 120x equals 416. At the end, I divide by 120, divide by 120. X equals 416 divided by 120, fits in there 3 times, 360, subtract 56, doesn't fit in there, add a decimal, fits in there, what is it, 4 times? 4, that's 480, subtract, that's 80, add a 0, that's a 6, 7, 20, 80, and it's going to repeat, so therefore this is 3.47, because it said to round to the nearest hundred. So that means they flipped the pancake 3.5 times in 1 second. No. Yeah? That's real. So that's how you get the unit rate. Now check this out. This is where I want to go. Look up, please. Last piece. Percent. This is a symbol. The word means per, which means multiply or times. That's a symbol. Cent means this. You guys seen that before, right? Which means 0.01 or 1/100th. Therefore, if this means percent, and if I write 25%, 25% means 25 times 1/100th, which is 25 over 100, and simplify, right? So, copy this proportion, please. This one right here. Is over of percent equals 100. Is over of percent equals 100. Is over of percent equals 100. Is over of percent over 100, sorry. Over 100. Is over of percent over 100. You got it? I know, right? So check this out. Hold on. So this is how this works. If I was to give you this problem, and we write is over of equals percent over 100. What's a percent? That goes over 100. What is the of? It goes here, therefore this is what? X, cross multiply and solve, right? Alright? Yes. Home plate, yeah, there's shooting today and there's home plate. Oh, I forgot to erase the note? Yeah, there is. And get a play sheet from over here. Play sheet 2-5. Enjoy your home play, guys. See you guys in tutoring, if not, always. Bye.